I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak with Weather 2020. Tropical storm Melissa becoming Hurricane Melissa and possibly Category 4 major Hurricane Melissa is threatening Jamaica. Let's start with that, and then there's a lot to go over. The new LRC is setting up. There's another storm we're tracking for the plains. Will it hit or miss your area? Let's go over the details on this tropical update on this October the 25th. Here was a storm at 9 a.m. with 70-mile-per-hour winds, so very close to hurricane strength already, likely a hurricane strength by the time you're watching this video. And we'll put this into motion, and you can see it becomes a Category 1 this evening, a 3 by 6 a.m. Sunday, and then Monday it's a Category 4 blast right across Jamaica and then across Cuba, where it should weaken to a Category 2 as it moves off to the northeast. There is the latest hurricane track, as you can see here. If it is indeed a Category 4, Kingston, Montego Bay, etc., that could be devastating, life-threatening flooding for the island of Jamaica, as you can see there. So very sad. Hopefully it doesn't intensify that much. All right, let's take a look at our slideshow today to show you everything. You can see here, Intensifying Melissa. There it is. That was earlier today, as you can see, Melissa right there. And then I'm going to come over here to our PowerPoint and show you here with Melissa, we do have a very interesting storm system that is right there, intensifying over the Caribbean Sea. There's Jamaica, and you can see it's just unfortunately destined to cause all kinds of problems. Melissa is the 13th named storm of the season. You can see here. And there may be an Nestor or an Olga. We'll see in the next few weeks. Weather 2020 predicted 17 to 23 named storms. We've only had 13. But we predicted 4 to 6 major hurricanes, and Melissa looks like it'll be the 4th major one of the season. Again, there's that track I just showed you in motion. Here is Melissa today, way down to the south, way down there, as you can see here. There's Melissa. And then we have the slow-moving storm over the southern part of Kansas and Oklahoma with severe thunderstorms and possibly a couple tornadoes over southeast Texas, Louisiana area today. So this storm is a big ridge, and then this jet stream's coming across the Pacific Ocean. And then this energy right here is being monitored for development of a storm. Let's go 3 or 4 days from now. That storm forms right over Missouri. For Kansas City in this region that really needs a good drink of water to get a soaking, this would have to form a little farther west. So right now it's forming far enough east where it misses Kansas City. Some models do form it farther to the west, others do not. So a storm could impact Monday Night Football, more likely on Tuesday. And look at this. There's a block in Canada. So the flow comes across. Half of the flow goes over the block, and half the flow goes under the block. And that's why the model's having all kinds of problems. Here's Hurricane Melissa moving northeast of Cuba over the outer islands and heading out into the Atlantic. And then this whole weather pattern is in the process of change. So very interesting. At the surface, again, if that storm forms farther west, this storm will be stronger and wet right over eastern Kansas. But as is, it's over eastern Missouri, not eastern Kansas. South winds return over the western plains, and that will affect the ski resorts, wiping out any snow that has already fallen there. They're supposed to open in 2 weeks in some areas, but not with this weather pattern. It's going to be very difficult for the ski areas to open up, as you can see. In fact, I was there for this snow that they had. There was no snow in the mountains when I got there Thursday. And by Friday morning, it looked like this with some stratus fog down below and not even a dusting. For the car tops, you can see some ice. That's frozen rain. It's different than freezing rain because it already rained and then it froze. Okay, and then barely a dusting on these slopes up in Breckenridge. Not even, just barely a dusting up here. That's all. And then 2 to 4 inches on the mountaintops. It has been a struggle so far this season, but the LRC is still evolving. So let's see how it sets up. Something interesting to look at. Look at this closely. Look at the rainfall from October 5th to 25th, the first 20 days of this year's LRC. May not be as bad as you thought, okay? Near average over parts of Kansas, eastern Missouri to Ohio. That drought has been wiped out almost. Still dry over much Missouri and over Minnesota, eastern South Dakota, back to the west. And then wet out west. And then somewhat dry in the Pacific Northwest. Look at the difference between this and last year. Watch this. Last year at the same time, it was October 5th to 25th a year ago. Here's October 5th to 25th this year. Look at the differences. So just want you to know, let's see how this continues to evolve as the LRC sets up. But that's last year, this year. A very different weather pattern has set up. So where will the ball drop? It's still spinning, everybody. The roulette wheel of weather is spinning. The ball hasn't fallen yet. It's going to fall in one of these categories. So we'll see where it goes. So there you go. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak. Let me know if you have any questions. Hurricane Melissa strengthening tops the weather news, and our full report will be on Tuesday. Have a good day, everybody.